Episode 2 of Season 2, Escaping Expulsion. I'm going to cut right to the chase. Brock, my question for you is Odalia worse than Gendo? Or just...
Mike, you and me both know that Gendo, instead of going to counseling about his dead wife, wanted to rewrite the planet. So let's not quite set the bar that high.
Fair.
But this is going to... I don't know if I'm 100% correct on this, but I know that I mentioned in the review for last season that it made it very apparent that they're not that clever at hiding the fact that Amity dyes her hair. And I noticed that she has brown hair and that her father has brown hair. And I don't know exactly when and where the inspiration for every one of these ideas came from, but I'm going to throw out a person that this character reminds me of drastically, of a person who doesn't deserve anything they have, but they married into a rich family, and they all have a specific hair color. Miss Sao, do you know who I'm talking about? It's from Ruby.
Oh my god.
There's a character named Jacques Schnee, who everyone until Volume 4 thought was Weiss's biological father. Or I would thought was the Schnee, and no. He married into the family and changed his last name to Schnee because he wanted to be successful for money. Now,
gold digger.
Because, I'm not going to notice that the two children that get treated like aces have naturally green hair. The mom has green hair. The dad has brown hair. And Amity has natural brown hair. I'm not going to say I noticed a pattern here. But I did.
Very observant of you.
But, yeah. I also, we're sitting here. I don't know how much of a Batman fan Misao is. But when you immediately start up a episode with a thing called Blight Industries, and then the character is green themed,
I see where you're going with this.
I was waiting for a you have no idea how much that narrows it down line, but I never got it. But yeah, you're gonna ask more questions, and I'll get into my two other. I wanted to see how stupid people got responses. One from the fandom and one from the other end of it. My favorite quote from King, I think so far, at least in the part of the shows that I can remember, is that no one ever said power came with responsibility.
Yeah, it's that line and. It's that line, and Gus says like we'll find our way back or die trying.
No one's dying. Not with that end.
Those two lines kill me every time.
The not with that attitude thing is one of the most overused lines ever, but you can tell that when it's funny, it's always funny. It's only when the joke is bad that it's not funny. It's one of those overused jokes. As long as the joke is actually good, it's always funny.
It's really all about timing.
Yeah.
Misao, do you have a favorite line from this episode?
I don't know why every time. The second time was in this episode when Amity says, "Stay away from my loose."
We'll get to that.
I'm like,
that's one of my questions.
Stupid intensifies.
One of my other favorite lines, and it's also a joke that works every time as long as the joke is good. I call it a stack spell, more like a stupid spell.
I think it's just because of Alex Hirsch's delivery of that line.
It's the dumbest joke that I will, as long as it's actually written well in a situation, I laugh at it every time.
Yeah. Also, the other one I laughed at is when Lucy's like, "Oh, he can't get me from up here," and it jumps up, and it's like, "Lucy, fool!"
You fool! Yes. All right, get up what you want to ask before I ask two very one politically laced question and one shipping laced question.
Okay, before we get there, I do want to bring up what we ended off on in the last episode. Lilith and Ida are learning glyphs because, at least for now, their powers have they don't have the powers.
Yes.
So they need a substitute. And to do that, they're learning glyphs. And based on what happens in this episode, it seems like they're kind of getting the jump on the endless possibilities you can do with combining all these different glyphs. How did you feel about the discoveries of the glyphs that we saw in this episode?
I kind of figured that that's what they were going to do, because that's how, like, after you only can make so much, I was just kind of like, they're going to combine them somehow. How, I don't know. But I figured it would be through shenanigans, because it doesn't happen any other way at that household.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of like how a lot of our modern inventions were created almost by accident.
That also reminds me of, oh boy, Miss Al, I doubt you watched Oppenheimer. One of my favorite discussions in a movie ever recently happens in a scene between Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer and the general of Matt Damon's, of which I can't remember. It was a genuine fear when they were making the atomic bomb that you need to have the proper chemical elemental reaction to make the bomb go off the way that it is. But a genuine fear that the U.S. government had is that when they set this thing off, that the reaction would just keep happening and that it would never stop and the world would just die, that they wouldn't be able to control it. And then Oppenheimer goes, well, it's just I can't remember, it was something stupidly small, like a 1.8% chance of happening. And he's like, how low of a percentage would you want? 0, Oppie. I would like a 0% chance of that happening.
Oh yeah, the line is like, oh, chances are near 0. Damon's like, near 0? What do you want from theory alone? 0 would be nice.
0 would be nice. It's fantastic. Oh yeah. But go ahead.
Anything else before we get to your 2 questions? Because I like without knowing exactly what your questions are, I can kind of just tell that, like, the first 2 episodes of this season, of the first 2 episodes, a lot of discourse came from this episode.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet it did. Oh, I bet it did. So you want me to just start with them in chronological order?
Sure.
So how much stupidity was there by the fact that Willow has 2 dads?
Surprisingly, not that much. Like,
well, that's good.
I think the way they handle it is just kind of perfect. That it's just so matter of fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even Dana Terrace has said in interviews that in this world, like there is no bigotry like that. Like homophobia is just not a thing in.
Oh, I didn't expect there to be any in the show. That wasn't part of my question. I was expecting it from the external human normal sources.
Yeah, like how like the fans will react to it.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was going to be some people like, I can take magical bile sacs and giant wooden creatures, but 2 dads? No, sir! I didn't know if there was any of that.
Please. Like, well...
This is a Disney show, after all.
Yes, but also, like, Willow's 2 dads is, like, the least of their concerns.
I know.
Yeah.
I get that. It's just that people will make a lot out of very little concerns.
Of course. Now, what's your second question?
The other one is, just how much did the fandom have to put themselves back together off of broken pieces when they heard Amity say "my loose"?
Yes! Yes!
Brock, when we're done with this series, I want you to go back and just look up all the various reactions to this episode.
I bet. I was just like, all right, that one made someone have a heart attack.
Yes, it did! The whole fandom!
It's just like, I'm waiting for the first moment. Outside of the dance, which was very obvious, I was like, that was their cutesy little okay maybe moment, and then that was the yeah.
Oh, since you wait, my friend, it goes uphill from here.
Oh, I know. I know. Trust me, I can only avoid so much while looking for title cards for episodes because Google doesn't sort well.
No.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't.
Like I've been spoiled that Amity gets a new hair color.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Thankfully, I was very well aware of a certain situation happening, so even if I see pictures, I'm just aware of okay.
Yeah, by the time you get to those episodes, you'd be like, "Oh, so that's where that came
Yeah,
from."
like
Yeah.
you'll understand the context.
Yeah.
So, like how we got to that context.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the basic gist of like that was literally everything that I had written down. I was kind of like, I need to have this Ruby spiel, and I need to ask these two very obvious, maybe there were some bad situations questions, and probably a good one.
But
And
yeah,
of course, now that I'm going to assume that near the end of this, that basically everyone's not going to like the Emperor.
I'll
Just
say
gonna throw that out there.
We'll put a pin in that.
yeah. We'll put a pin in that.
We got a pin in that.
Okay. Okay. Let's make predictions.
Let's see. Ooh, what did you think of Lilith essentially mastering the glyphs and the ice sculptures?
I pretty much knew that was going to happen. I knew that out of those
Yeah,
that she was.
I was like, this teacher pat this kiss ass over here.
Yeah, she's. I was literally going to be like, I was waiting. She's going to call Luce teacher 9 times out of 10 instead of Luce, and then she's going to get it faster than Ida, and then she's going to learn more from Ida than Luce.
Yep.
Or learn more from Lilith than she does from that. But yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah.
That's just sibling orientation as it is.
Yeah.
Especially with their personalities.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got the class clown and the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then we have King.
Then you have the class mascot.
Yep.
This is King.
Which is kind of the perfect segue into the next episode. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I will say it is very King-centric, and I will leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Until next time, Misao, where can everyone find you online?
You can find me on Twitter as whatever it's called at Kiva028.
And Brock?
You can find me everywhere at OrganArt0, mainly Twitch and YouTube.
And you guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and that place at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we. And until next time,
Bye!
bye!